Hi, this is Marc with my analysis for the week commencing the 4th of February. Now, people are getting frustrated, and I don't understand it really, because if you trade from the longer time frames like I do, I have shown you this was from the 21st of January. I explained why I was only focusing on 3 pairs that week. That was the Loonie, which is the CAD, the Aussie, and the cable. And I went into detail why I had focused on them and narrowed it down and what I was going to do. And last week I explained 2 of those trades alone went over 600 pips. And as I repeatedly tell you, I am looking always to catch a big one. I am not looking for lots of little moves. I just want to make money. I just want to catch a big one. So last week I spoke about possible pullbacks, and I said about the euro and the pound I would only want to pull back. CAD there was an opportunity to short again, and they all gave possible trades. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe, I was showing you in the live training session how the pound and New Zealand dollar I wouldn't take in its current position, but then I sent a message out with the email, I think it was Wednesday morning, to say I am looking to short the pound New Zealand dollar and the euro yen. And the pound New Zealand dollar at its best went 150 pips, euro yen went 50 and then came back and took me out at break even, unfortunately. But there have been trades about. Now, there have been a lot of technical clues in recent weeks, and I have explained ad nauseum that I was not going to long, say, for example, the Aussie dollar, because I felt that it would fall back. Now, as it was, it's fallen back because of fundamentals, and that's what we've got now. We have a combination of fundamental and technical analysis where price has now failed at these major areas. Pound stopped at the 55 EMA. The only one really that kept going out the majors was the euro. It did break a big area, kept going, and that is because fundamentally the eurozone is coming out with a lot more positive news, although Friday's NFP really starts to change everything. So let's have a look for the week ahead. As ever, let's start with the calendar. Okay, last week's NFP was much better than expected, and not only that the average earnings was up, and the previous months was revised upwards as well. So that is seen as very positive for the USD, and therefore we could now see, after all these big moves, pullbacks and even a reversal in the dollar. Trump has also said he wants the dollar to be stronger, and the ECB want the euro to be weaker, as does the RBA, Bank of England, Bank of Australia, New Zealand, you name it. They will want to talk it down, and Trump's trying to talk it up. So as I say, it could well be we're on for a big reversal. Now, the other thing to note, one of the members, I think one of the newer members, was asking in the live trading session the other day, he said, how do you trade if there's always this news coming out? And I explained, you focus on the news for the specific pairs. So for example, if I was trading the British pound, I would wait for services PMI to come out. I'd be very careful with Draghi on Monday for the euro. And then we've got the Aussie dollar cash rate and statement. So Aussie dollar, clearly be careful around that for the Aussie dollar. Same then for the New Zealand dollar. Same for the RBNZ policy statement. And then on Thursday we've got the BOE. But that's limited to the British pound and its relevant pairs. So that shouldn't affect non-related pairs. So just be sensible, check the calendar before taking trades. So this is the CAD, and last week I'd said look for a pullback. If you weren't in it already, remember I was in up here, and I'd explained I'd left it running, and I explained if you'd missed it and you weren't in it already, look for a pullback to 123.80 I believe, and as you know, you place the order 10 pips below and you're in, and this at its peak was 108, and from the original entry up here, which we took 2 weeks ago in the live trading session, it went to 70. Now I got taken out here around 200 pips, and the reason being I closed it for NFP, and now hopefully you understand why we do not trade NFP. We're in a clear downtrend, the dollar was weakening, everything's looking for a short, and suddenly bang, NFP comes out better than expected, as does average earnings, and woof, it's gone. And that is why we do not trade it, and that is why you move stops to protect or close trades before major news. Now, the issue, as I've just explained, it's going to be tricky, and I'm going to concentrate more on Tuesday morning. I want to see what happens Monday, because the dollar news was very positive, and this could well go on a run. Now, I am going to watch here on the CAD, but I won't place a forward order on Monday as I would normally, because of the potential for the dollar to rebound. So it's really a case of watching and waiting longer time frames. If it breaks, then I'll be more interested if we get back up here for a potential short, or if it breaks and closes above 125.30 on a daily, then a pullback, you look for a long. Dollar yen, not my favorite pair. but this was the original entry that we got, and it suggested another entry. I can't remember what it was last week, but again, NFP, it has shot back up, and again, you would be looking in these areas, but the dollar could be now up on a run, and therefore you have to look for a breakout and a close. This one I wouldn't take. Maybe if it breaks 112, I might start looking in the big area. If you're looking for a breakout and a change in direction, will be all the way back up here. Now, Aussie dollar, as explained earlier, the Aussie dollar last week did pull back to 80, and then this is what NFP effect has had to do with it. So we've come back through this lot. The dollar US strengthens. What's it going to do? Well, forward order for me would be all the way back down here. And some of you think I'm crazy, but it happened perfectly last time, and we got 200 odd pips out of this. This is the main area in a channel that goes back well into last year and beyond, and therefore that would be an A grade area for me. I will watch these areas, but once again, the dollar could be strengthened and it could just drop. Another option to consider is look for a pullback to 80 now for a potential short. New Zealand dollar, and again I explained for weeks why, even though it was up here weekly, it did not break and close above 78.6, so technically that was a clue that it would turn back down. Now we've got an inside bar, which is a reversal pattern, and therefore you definitely do not look to long, only interested to short on this pair. And 7300 has been a previous major area of strong support and resistance, so you're looking for a break and close below there. Then the issue, and this is an issue on a lot of these pairs now, that the EMAs are all bunching. So where are you going to place your stop? If you want to get in at the break here, it's only got 36 pips to a weekly 200, then it's got movement down here. So I will watch on this. I'm interested to long, because if the dollar goes on a bit of a run, runs out steam, 7100 will be the first area, and then the main area for me will be down here around 6900. Equally, if it moves back up again, I will be interested to short here. Swing trade, very small stop with a potential gain then of 140 pips, maybe 180 down to here. British pound keeps coming out with positive data despite all the Brexit gloom and doom. But what did it do? Well, I suggested last week intraday look at 140 for a potential pullback. I didn't touch it. I think this was Carney related. But what I'd said the previous week, this was the issue. You have the monthly 55 EMA, and look how important these EMAs are. It came up fingers in the fire the first week, last week exactly almost to the pip, and back down again. The better area for me to long the pound would be down around 13400. If it comes back up here, I would even consider a swing trade again here, because it could get away with a small stop around, let's have a look, 43.30. I'd be looking for an entry at 43 with my stop just above the recent high. Could then go 330 pips, could go 900 for a potential long. I mean, you're going to have to watch 38 as well, because look, that has been a big major area as well. But you just at this moment in time, guys, from this analysis, we're watching and waiting. We're going to see what happens Monday. Now, the euro has had some big moves post Christmas and lots of positive data. Draghi's talking Monday. He is going to try to talk this down. He does not want the euro getting stronger, and yet price has been going up. For a forward order, I would be interested to long at 120, because if we get a pullback, if it's going to stall or stop anywhere, that is an obvious area. I wouldn't long at the top, guys. I do not like longing at extreme tops and shorting at extreme bottoms. So for me, pullback is of more interest. Swissy was a bit strange on Friday, because although we had this positive dollar news, it wasn't the biggest of moves, but it is a reversal candle pattern at the bottom of a big move. So those of you looking to trade intraday, consider a long. More conservative entry will be a short back up here at 9700. Aussie dollar yen. Now, I showed you in the live training session a couple of weeks ago how I had just shorted this one. It was a very small stop, and I was looking at a potential gain of 160, which we've now hit, and all the way down for here for 250. Now, unfortunately, I got taken out on this, but that was a good example of a swing trade where it was a double top and you didn't need much of a stop, and the potential reward versus the risk was great. Now, potential long, I am interested to long at 86.50 for multiple reasons. If it comes back up here, I will be interested to short with a small stop once again. And the reason why down here you've got intersection of a trend line, all these EMAs bunching, it will be around about an average daily move if it gets down on Monday. So this one I am very interested to long. Pound New Zealand, this was the one I put the message out. I think one of the gentlemen in the live session asked me about taking this. He'd taken it here on the Tuesday, must have been here, and I said that I wouldn't take it from here. I'm more interested at the edges, and I sent a note out with the email during the week, and this at one point was 150 pips in profit. And again, it was a double top area. It was a stop. I think I had the stop here of around 50 pips, and I was looking for a potential gain down here of 300 pips. Now it's turned back up, it's starting to look bullish, but on a daily we still have MACD divergence here, which suggests this area could be strong again. So it's not one of my usual pairs, but I will be watching this one. Euro yen, I had a short on this. It went about 50 pips and then it broke through and went the other way. Technically now you're looking for a break and close above here. We're looking for a pullback to long, and if you look on the weekly, it was up here back in 2015, so this is going to be a big area. It's not only 150 pips away, but you've got the potentially a 200 odd pip move if this is to make a move. Final ones, this is euro pound. I had an order in here last week. It missed my entry by a little bit. I was down here somewhere and it went without me. I am trading this from the edges, guys, so I am shorting still at 90, and I am interested to long at the double bottom down here at 86.90. Here it's in no man's land for me, and I don't have anywhere safe to place my stop. Final one, USD Singapore dollar. This was the NFP effect. Turn back up. We had a bit of divergence before on this one. I am interested to short this if it gets all the way up, back up around 34.50, 3500. Okay, watching and waiting tomorrow. That's Monday. I usually trade from the market open on a Sunday night. I will have a look tonight, but I don't think I will place any trades. But let's see what happens Monday and read this dollar. Is it just a rebound temporarily, or are we on for a big change of direction? Okay, have a good day. Catch you later.